Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Triasih Ningrum. I'm from the English Literary class of 6C, Faculty of the Adab and Humaniora of the UIN Sultan Toha Saifuddin Jambi. Thanks to good who is Allah because I can finish this proposal, and thanks to the lecture of Seminar Literary and Linguistics Haji Mislan NPD. Okay, the title I took was Character Analysis in the Breaking Down novel by Stephenie Meter. Okay, I will going to explain about definition of literature. Literature is a creative work that contains the intent and purpose of the author. A literary work does not mean merely having an idea, theory or system of thought, but on a literary work it contains ideas and thinking system. Character are important elements in literary work, especially in novel. The character in literary work has created by the author to convey his ideas and feelings about something happening in the world. Characters have the power to dominate the whole story in a literary work. Authors can bring the character through many problems in different situations. Definition of novel. According to scholars, novel is a story that is related to real or fictional events imagined by the author through his observation of reality. And according to Abraham, the term novel comes from Italian novelia, which contains the literal meaning of a small new item, which is then interpreted as a short story in the form of prose. Type of novel, serious novel. Serious novel are novels that require calm and high concentration in reading them and with the willingness to do so. Serious novel in addition to profit entertainment that provides a valuable experience to the reader, or at least invites him to perfect and reflect more seriously about the problems raised. And next, author's biodata. Stephenie Meter was born 24 December 1973, a young writer and producer, better known in his work The Twilight, a romantic romance novel between the vampire and the human. The Twilight novel became world famous and has sold over 100 million copies translated into 37 languages. Meyer was born in Hartford, Connecticut. His parents were Stephen and Candy Morgan. He is large in Phoenix, Arizona, along with his 5 brothers, Seth, Emily, Jacob, Paul, and Heidi. Theory. This study aims to analyze the character in the novel Breaking Down. For this purpose, the author used several theories that support this research. In the book Writing Themes About Literature, Robert states the character in literature is a broad oral representation of humans, especially in determining himself through thought, speech, and behavior. This theory clearly states that dialogue, action, and commentary are verbal representation of humans in literary works to create some character interaction surrounding. In order to refer the character of or character in the novel Breaking Down, the author focused on the character discourse theory propounded by Edgar 5. Robert, in his writing themes about literature, number 1 is what the figure says about him. Number 2 is what the figure does. Number 3, what other figures say about the figure analyzed. Number 4 is what the author say about us storyboards and observes for every action of the character. Okay, next, review and previous research. Stanton, in his book An Introduction to Fiction, the term character can mean the individual in the story, or in other words, story figure, or also refers to the combination of interest, emotion, and moral principles that make up the character, or in other words, describe the behavior or nature of the story figure. And next, main character in the novel Breaking Down. Number 1 is Isabella or Bella Swan. For Bella's character, the author analyzed based on the second way of a character disclosure theory from Edgar 5 Roberts to what the figure does. Next, number 2 is Edward Cullen. For Edward character, the author analyzed based on the second way of a character disclosure theory from Edgar 5 Roberts to what the figure does. And number 3 is Jacob Black. For Jacob's character, the author analyzed based on the character disclosure theory of Edgar 5 Roberts, which is the second way what the character does. Design of the research. The research method is a procedure or step in obtaining scientific knowledge. The existing method must be able to formulate ideas and thought based on scientific knowledge. Number 1 is Isabella or Bella Swan. Character is Bella tegar. When Jacob attempts to explain to Bella that his action to defend the infant in his infest body are undermining his life from the inside, saying that he is unable to bear this burden, Bella with his slay say that he was able. Next, Edward Cullen. Character Edward is Care. In this section of Breaking Down novel, show how much Edward's attention to Bella he thinks is inherently vulnerable to accident, so he buys a car that is a strong Mustang for him. Next, Jacob Black. Character is Jacob is temperamental. By the time Bella hinted at Jacob that he and Edward were going to do the first night, when Bella was still a human, Jacob was furious because she knew that if Bella did so, Bella would die. Search of research is number 1 is primary data and number 2 is secondary data. Technique of collecting data. Data collection techniques are strategic way of research because the main goal is to get data. The purpose of data collection is to obtain information and make it easier to analyze objects that will be examined by research. Okay, thank you for attention. The last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.